A year-long 10% holdout does not get a free pass from Google. It also does not trigger an automatic penalty for varying content. Welcome to SEO Francisco. I'm Francisco, with more than 15 years in SEO, including more than 7 years as SEO lead at Shopify, more than 4 years at Pornhub, and hands-on work with multinationals and clients through my agency, Growing Search. In 5 minutes, I'll separate Mueller's answer from Google's rules and give you the checks for a long-term A/B test. On July 14th, the question was about a 10% holdout lasting 6 to 12 months on a large marketplace. The follow-up made the risk sharper. What if the alternate version is a full redesign and Googlebot receives different core HTML across crawls? Mueller's first answer was about indexing. Depending on the setup and what Google crawls, either version may be used. If the pages differ materially, that difference may appear in search results. Later, he said there was no special penalty or demotion, simply for varying content, adding, "as far as I know." He also said constant changes make debugging and monitoring harder. Here is the part most SEOs miss. We are dealing with 3 questions, not 1. First, indexing. Which version did Google crawl, and which version can become the search representation? Second, a special demotion. Mueller said, variation alone does not create one, with that qualification. Third, policy. Was the setup deceptive, crawler-specific, or kept alive longer than the decision required? A ranking or indexing change can happen without a penalty, and the absence of a special penalty does not approve every implementation. Now we can test the architecture. Start with the same URL. A small presentation change may leave the main topic, links, metadata, and structured data stable. A full redesign can change all of them. If either version would be unacceptable in search, the test is not ready. Capture the HTML Googlebot can receive. Compare the title, main copy, internal links, canonical, robots rules, and structured data. Then keep dated snapshots. Otherwise, when search presentation changes, your team will be guessing which version Google saw. Separate URLs have a different control set. For near duplicate variants, Google's testing guide calls for a canonical to the preferred original. If users are routed to a test URL, use a temporary 302 redirect, not a permanent 301. But a canonical is a hint, not a command. If the redesign is materially different, Google may choose another canonical or treat the pages differently. A 10% allocation does not repair conflicting URL signals. Next, check assignment. Googlebot generally sees the cookieless version, so open the page as a real user without the experiment cookie and record that response. Do not detect Googlebot and reserve a search-friendly version for it. Random user-neutral testing is not automatically cloaking. Crawler-specific manipulative treatment can be. The later Blue Sky question about crawler-specific assignment was unanswered, so it provides no approval. For the scenario on screen, I would block the launch until crawler and user treatment are aligned. So, how long can the test run? Google publishes no fixed maximum. Its documentation says to run a test only as long as needed, then remove the variations promptly. It also warns that an unnecessarily long experiment may be interpreted as deception and may lead to action. A year can have a business reason, such as measuring retention or a delayed marketplace effect. Write that reason before launch. Name the decision, the metric, the planned read dates, the evidence required to extend, and the owner who will remove the test. We always keep 10% in control. It is an allocation rule. It is not a stopping rule. Before you approve the experiment, run this 6-point safety check. 1. Same experience. Googlebot and comparable no-cookie users must follow the same assignment logic. No bot-only version. 2. Stable assignment. Keep each experiment unit in its variant long enough to measure. 3. For separate, near duplicate variants, point the canonical to the preferred original. It remains a hint. 4. Use a temporary 302 for test routing not a permanent 301. 5. Define the stopping rule, read dates, and extension criteria. Log what Google crawls and monitor index content. 6. Remove the test cleanly. Ship the winner, remove temporary logic and URLs, restore a clear canonical state, and verify after recrawl. Here is the defensible verdict. Google has not published an automatic penalty for varying content, a 1-year approval, or a 10% safe harbor. Indexing can still change when variants differ materially. Policy risk remains when treatment becomes cloaking or the test runs longer than its decision can justify. Is your experiment same URL, separate URL, or a persistent holdout? And what evidence will end it? Put both answers in the comments. Read the full English or Spanish guide on SEOFrancisco. Watch my technical SEO auditor video for the evidence workflow and subscribe for search advice grounded in primary sources.